The story of Sublime's Bradley Nowell. Despite his young age, Bradley Nowell had already made quite the name for himself as a member of the band Sublime. He had a reputation for his high-energy stage presence, an impressive repertoire of hits, and a slick, sophisticated style. Despite his success, Nowell faced a number of personal setbacks in his career. He struggled with drug addiction, a lack of confidence, and a long-standing battle with depression. Biography. During the mid-90s, California punk had a resurgence, and Bradley Nowell and his band Sublime were one of the bands to take advantage of it. With their combination of punk and ska, they created an edgy, noisy sound that sounded unlike anything else. They were one of the most popular bands at California State University, Long Beach. The band was also a hit on college radio. Although they didn't hit the mainstream until 1996, Sublime's self-titled debut album was a big hit, selling over 60,000 copies. It also reached the Billboard Top 20. Their second album, Robin the Hood, was released in 1994 and included the hit song Date Rape, which cracked the Billboard Heatseekers chart. Sublime signed with MCA Records, which released the band's self-titled third album, Sublime. The band also released several compilation albums and a live album. The band became known for their unique sound, which was influenced heavily by reggae, ska, and punk rock. Sublime has sold over 17 million albums worldwide. The band continues to be popular around the world. Bradley Nowell and his band were one of the most influential ska bands of the 90s. With their combination of punk and third-wave ska, they created a unique edgy sound that was unlike anything else. Their music was popular initially in Southern California, as well as Orange County, eventually becoming well known throughout North America. The band sold over 10 million albums in the US alone. They are a California band but are also associated with Long Beach and Venice Beach. Sublime has released 3 studio albums and 5 compilation albums. There are also posthumous albums. One of the posthumous albums features never-before-released material. The other includes an extensive graphic biography of the band's lead singer, Brad Nowell. The biography also includes rare photos of Nowell. Please subscribe to our channel, thank you. Music career. Despite a string of successful albums, Bradley Nowell's music career was short-lived. The guitarist and singer was found dead at the young age of 28. The news was a shocking surprise, and Nowell was reported to have died of a drug overdose. The first slew of recordings were made during the late 80s. The band was able to get some major press coverage. Nowell and his bandmates were also able to make some solid contacts. Nowell, along with guitarist Eric Wilson, bassist Paul Leary and drummer Floyd Bud Garth, formed the band known as Sublime. The most important part of the Sublime's second album was the song Santeria. The song was a trippy saga of sorts that topped the modern rock charts and was a laudable achievement for the band. Drug addiction. During the early years of Sublime, lead singer Bradley Nowell suffered from drug addiction. It took him a while to get his life together. It wasn't long before his addiction worsened and he often pawned off instruments to support the habit. In the end, he had to quit. The band's manager brought back the equipment for a few shows. Nowell took on a break from the University of California, Santa Cruz. Sublime was signed to a major record label and was scheduled to tour Europe. The band had a good local following in Southern California. It was a bummer that Nowell's death robbed them of their success, but didn't stop them from making more music. A new Sublime documentary delves into the band's life and highlights the dangers of substance abuse. It also touches on the life of Sublime's bassist Todd Zalkins, who was an opioid addict for a long time. It's not easy to deal with a substance abuse problem, especially if you're in the music industry. It's even harder when you have a young son, as Bradley Nowell did. His son Jacob was born less than a year before his father's death. Although Nowell's death was a major blow, his legacy is still thriving. Pet Dalmatian named Lou Dog. During the early days of Sublime, lead singer Bradley Nowell had a Dalmatian named Lou Dog. Throughout the years, the dog became the unofficial mascot of the band. It was allowed to wander the stage during live performances, and it was also often featured on the band's merchandise. While Brad Nowell is known for his love of dogs, he was also known to be a drug addict. After a trip to Jamaica, his father introduced him to reggae music. Nowell became fascinated with the music and eventually learned to play guitar. However, he developed a drug habit which eventually destroyed his life. When Bradley Nowell first moved to Southern California, he met bassist Eric Wilson and drummer Bud Garth. They later created their own music label called Skunk Records. Skunk Records released early recordings of Sublime. The label also sold demo tapes at local record stores. This helped the band look more professional and allowed them to book more shows. The band's first two albums, 40 Ounces to Freedom and Robin the Hood, were recorded for less than $10,000. Lou Dog was a favorite of Sublime, and he was allowed to wander the stage during live performances. After Brad Nowell's death in 1996, Miguel Happelt took care of Lou Dog. Lou Dog was an adored mascot of Sublime, and he is often referred to in the lyrics of many of Sublime's songs. His name appears in the lyrics to Waiting for My Ruka, What I Got, and Santeria. Lou Dog was rescued from an abused animal shelter in 1996. After a short period of time, he became deaf, as he frequently was on the loud stage. Death from a heroin overdose. Sadly, singer-guitarist Bradley Nowell died from a heroin overdose. He was 28 years old when he died, and had been struggling with addiction throughout his life. His death came 2 months before Sublime's self-titled major label debut. Sublime's management informed the promoters of the band's concert at Maritime Hall in San Francisco that Nowell had died just hours before. The band was scheduled to play a sold-out show that night. The promoters cancelled the show. The band's management also contacted the family of Nowell's child, Jacob Nowell. Todd Zalkins, who had lost a friend to addiction, reached out to the family and offered help. In the wake of Nowell's death, Sublime released compilation albums of his songs. The most popular of these songs included 40 Ounces to Freedom, Surfside, and Rome. Bradley Nowell was at times a troubled soul who made every effort to enjoy life and embrace his love affair with music. He was passionate, creative, and along with his bandmates created a unique sound, cantor and vision known as Sublime. One thing that is certain, no band will ever sound like Sublime. Please share, like, and subscribe as this helps us produce unique videos for you to enjoy. Thanks for watching.